Well,
It
so
does.
I guess I'll introduce our concept. I'm you.
And I'm I,
Oh man,
obviously.
there we go. Myself and I, we're doing you and I exposes, and we have a very specific video that we're talking about today, and it's B&G's top five. I think it's called sodas or something like that. We'll link it in the
It,
description.
we'll link it. It'll be
Yeah,
down below.
yeah. If you want to watch it, we're giving you the details. So I don't know that you need to, but maybe help out a struggling channel. We'll see. So I guess what let's do. Do you want to give any background to who you are, what you do at all?
Well, I am a computer engineer that studies cows, and
Hmm.
we'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, as you can see, I'm you. You can't see that, but I said that. As you can
Oh
see,
yeah,
I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt, so I obviously graduated from Star Wars University, and I was a cow at one point, and that's how I met I. So
actually, that's the truth.
yeah, yeah. I actually helped me transition from being a cow to human, so I'm very thankful.
Yeah, I'm a
But
special kind of doctor.
yeah. Some might call him a veterinarian, but that would be wrong.
That would be wrong, actually.
We have passing connections to B&G. We like bumped into them on the street one day, but
It
and
was in a
all they would
past
talk.
life.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. I don't believe in reincarnation, but
Well,
that'll be another podcast.
I
But no, and all they would talk about was this podcast that they were doing. We're like, fine, like we'll look it up, we'll see what it is. Us being such high up, YouTube stars in the YouTube community that we are. Like, well, I guess we'll check it out, and we realized they were wrong on a lot of
about a
stuff.
lot of things.
Yeah, yeah. So here we are. I's got
Here we are.
a someone helping him out there. It looks like some moral support.
Sidekick.
Oh, nice.
Sidekick. Moral support. She's a fan.
So, I do you wanna read off one of their lists, or well, what do you think we should?
Yeah.
How do you think we should go about it?
I mean, honestly, I think I'm gonna read off B's list
Okay.
because, frankly, I never even met G. So he honestly could be just a mannequin, like CGI that B is like thrown up in front of the computer.
B is very good at putting up CGI. It's one of
I
his many
know
talents. Yeah.
that is his talent,
To be
and
fair, though, I have met G. Um,
you've met G.
I have,
So
yeah.
he is a real person. He
Allegedly.
exists.
Unless he is
Allegedly.
just so good at CGI, he can do it in real life.
How do you know it wasn't just a mirage? Like, it could have been a mirage.
Well, I was sleep deprived, so maybe.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you never know.
We'll just see. We'll just see.
But B.
We'll treat him
B's-
as a real person. Well, that's what we're
but
gonna assume. But
We'll
yeah.
assume he's a real person with real feelings, and we will not assume otherwise.
And allegedly, I heard just got engaged. So that's big
We're
stuff.
using allegedly a lot, but that is a big step.
Well, again, we're talking about someone who allegedly is not CGI'd.
That's true. And who is allegedly good enough to make CGI.
Well, that was B. B's the one
Oh,
who's
that's B.
allegedly. Yeah.
So they're both alleged. These, I mean, these people have like the strangest taste in soda. I think you and I can both agree with that, right?
I think
but
you and I
these-
can agree with that.
But these, like, that's the point of this whole podcast.
Hmm.
But B's list is probably one I have the least issue with, and honestly, that's because there's actually 3 drinkable fluids on here,
Yeah.
and that's saying something.
All right. So let's just go over them, and we can pick apart each one. Maybe actually say what we like about it.
I wrote that. So, root beer, solid choice.
That's his number one, right?
It is. It is.
It's good. It's good. I don't think I'd put it as number one, but like you said, he's got some good points.
I mean,
Points.
root beer. If you got like a gaggle of kids coming over, like, what do you go get? You get root beer.
That's fair. Go get a 12-pack A&W or something. It's not the best root beer, I don't think, but hey, it's
They
from the
won't turn it
store.
down.
No one's gonna be like, "Ah, this is gross." Like everyone's gonna, except for there's one person I've heard, but we'll talk about him later.
Yeah.
But
Number two,
yeah,
he's got Sprite. Again, another really solid choice.
oh yeah,
Like, why are we doing this podcast even?
that's true actually. So far, we're
Sprite?
just agreeing with him.
I mean, Sprite's
Maybe this
like,
won't be exposes. Maybe this will be just you and I agrees.
I think we're
awkward.
gonna get there.
Oh,
We just
okay.
need to give it a time.
Okay.
Like Sprite, another time you got a whole bunch of kids coming over, go for it. Like you
Mhm.
got a cooler full of root beer and Sprite, you are set. They
I
are
mean,
gonna
honestly
be-
though, like summer day, like summer afternoon, just came in from being a kid, and
I
mom pops
know.
open a cooler full of root beer and Sprite. Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, and Sprite goes with anything.
Mhm.
It literally does.
Yep. I'll never turn down a Sprite. Never will.
No, I'm gonna let you handle as number 3 because I think this is a point of contention.
Well, not between us. So B's this guy
No,
B
but between
between
yeah,
B and
between us
reality,
them.
I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So B's number 3 is Squirt.
Has
Now,
anybody even heard of Squirt?
yeah, I'm not convinced that Squirt is a real thing. I'm just gonna level with you. It's
Like, is it more or less of a real thing than G though?
then what?
Is it more or less of a real thing than G? That's my question.
That's
Because, like, I have never met Squirt. I've never seen Squirt anywhere. And I have never met G.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Squirt is less of a thing than G.
Alright,
I
I'll
mean,
go with that.
I think it's just a sound.
It is. A really terrible one.
That's fair. I don't want to. No one wants to hear a squirt. I don't know what that means. Like, that's like when you have a Capri Sun, and you accidentally squeeze it too tight because you're trying to like get it to come out the top, but
Right.
it doesn't come out the top. It comes out the bottom. That's a squirt.
Or, like, you're at, like, a barbecue back before COVID was a thing. And
what?
you're, like, you're getting your barbecue and you're at the end of the line. You're getting ready to put your, great, like, Sweet Baby Ray's on there. But everybody else went through the line first and now it's empty. What sound does it make?
Oh, it makes a squirt.
I know.
Or when our boy Jay Dunk is eating literally anything, what does he do? He squirts a whole glob of ketchup on it.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if I can disagree with that.
Yeah.
Everything is better with ketchup,
Ah.
especially if you're in the
Steak.
South.
Your mom's chicken fingers?
Honestly, I think the chicken fingers, that was a good call.
Okay.
The steak, I mean, Donald Trump does it, so honestly, it can't be a good idea.
I think that might be political. I don't know. We'll save
Nah.
that. We'll save that for another podcast. Donald
That can
Trump,
be another discussion.
steak, ketchup. All right. I gotta be honest. I would like to cover number 4.
I think you have earned that right.
Thank you.
You have earned that right.
Actually, let me demonstrate. So B's number 4 is Dr. Pepper, of which I have
Solid
1, 2,
choice.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cans. Nope, sorry, 8 cans sitting on my desk. Thankfully, not all drunk tonight. I'm just a missing person.
it's literally. Let me show you. It's like
Oh,
a thing
there we go.
in every pantry.
So, this is where I agree very much so with you. I think very true. Dr. Pepper absolutely belongs on the list. I actually take issue with where he ranked it. At number 4? Like, I disagree. I think that's a slight. But B is not the person I take issue with on this one. G
I mean,
insulted Dr. Pepper. Called it battery acid.
It's not even on his list.
It's not. Spoiler alert.
And is G allegedly from Texas?
Allegedly.
That's a question.
Yeah.
Allegedly he's from Texas.
Allegedly. You're not even from Texas.
And I still like Dr. Pepper.
I's not from Texas, and he understands. What y'all missed is the part that I just edited out where I said I's actual name, because we're totally experienced YouTube professionals.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But no, I's not even from Texas, and he understands.
Especially the tide kick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, I don't know. I'm sorry. Myself, I'm confused. Not sure how to handle it.
It's a sad day.
His number 5. What's his number 5?
Pepsi.
Pepsi. Ugh. Ooh.
Who even drinks Pepsi?
You want to know a secret? Mrs. U. She drinks Pepsi.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's been a source of contention for a long time. But thankfully, I'm the one who buys the groceries, so I buy her some just to keep her happy, because you gotta keep her happy. But
I guess if you're gonna have an issue, I don't think Pepsi is the thing you are. And you know what? Have you ever seen a sporting event like without Pepsi? Like, honestly, I thought that their sole purpose in life was just to like sponsor things.
do you want to go over G's number 1? I think I have a little demonstration actually that can help with
So,
B's
do you
number 5.
remember when you always needed to, like, when you were in school and you needed to use something in chemistry class to do something disgusting?
Yeah.
What would
like
you
some
get?
sort of acid?
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't.
What
They
we're
didn't
just
trust
thinking
us
here
with
is
the,
like
with
using
the hefty
something
stuff.
like clean blood off the floor, like.
Oh, we
gory
typically
things.
just left that.
Oh, yeah, true.
Scares the next kid.
His number 1 was Coke.
I gotta be real. I think this is the one spot. I obviously don't think that Coke should be number 1. Far from it. But I think this is the one thing that I'm a little on board with G's list. I don't think Coke is terrible. But I think I probably can't stomach more than like 1 a week. It's not that good.
I mean, it's not like Coke's the end of the world, but so like obviously I went to a little school in Texas called Texas A&M, and now I'm not going to that school anymore, and I'm going to another school a little east of there, and you don't realize how much you miss having options other than Coke until all you have is Coke.
No. Oh no. Oh, that's
And
rough.
you get excited when you go into a restaurant and they have Dr. Pepper.
It's like reaching the Holy Land. Well, so I've got a little demonstration. Now, when you're watching, so I've got a bottle of Pepsi. I have a bottle of Coke. Now, what you're probably thinking right now is, well, you can't be trusted to drink this because you're obviously biased, and that's fair. Like, I'll allow it. That is an error in this system. But unfortunately, since I is so far away, I can't just reach through the interwebs and give him a bottle of Pepsi. Although it would have been really cool if you just like pulled a bottle of Pepsi from behind the computer there. That would have been. But anyway, I would say we'll fix that in post, but I don't think we're going to.
No.
So
maybe next time.
Once our budget is bigger.
Yeah.
So I have. What's the word? I've asserted several times that Pepsi tastes like you took a Coke, opened it, left it sitting out for like 5 to 6 to maybe even 24 hours, and then drank it. So I'm going to actually put that to the test, because never before have I opened one, let it sit, because I typically don't like to waste soda, even if it's Coke, which is not my favorite, but hey, cold carbonated Coke is better than flat Coke, aka Pepsi. So let's give it a try. This Pepsi is still sealed. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, looks like it.
Oh yeah.
This Coke, I bought both of these at the same place, same time, on my way home from work. And when I got home, I opened the Coke, I took a sip from it, and I put it in the fridge, opened. The Pepsi just got simply placed in the fridge. So let's open them both up and let's give them a taste. I might have to turn my mic down a little bit, otherwise y'all might hear some really nasty gargling or something. But let's
It's a
see.
squirt.
Oh,
It's a squirt.
We don't know. No. All right, so let's try the Coke. It's still got a little bite to it, but it's also pretty flat. Let's try the Pepsi.
Does it taste like you're drinking overly sweet tea, where the sugar just sticks to your teeth?
No, that would be Diet Coke, I think. So, I'm going to be real. Aside from the carbonation, I honestly don't think that I can tell a difference. Let's try it the other way, real fast. It's carbonated. It's gross, but it's carbonated. I've never felt so validated. That confirms my suspicion, like 100%. That's like why anyone would drink Pepsi. I'm sorry, Mrs. You. This is disgusting.
Well, you know.
Ugh.
Oh, hey, look. I have a helper in the background.
Nice. My helper's back here too, but she's lazy and doesn't like to get up.
To be fair.
Ugh.
Yes.
I feel a little.
Now, where is your cracker and cheese?
What?
Because that is what all the professional tasters eat between tasting sampling sessions, so they can cleanse their palate.
You know, like we mentioned earlier, we'll have to bring that in once our budget goes up. We could actually only afford half a cracker, and we couldn't afford it.
And I have it in my. Yeah. I have it here.
I has the crackers, so.
I have the cracker.
This is a lot harder than I thought to not actually say our own names. When B&G were doing it, I was like, come on, guys. Like, I slipped up once or twice, but.
I mean, G, I noticed his allegedly real self messed up in a few videos, so don't be too hard on yourself.
No, I mean, it's human. It's human. Which, maybe that's the best clue that G is in fact real. I think that might be it.
That might be true. Or it was just a glitch in B's computer program.
I don't know that he's that good at computer programs to make us think that G is real. I don't know. I'm on the G is more than allegedly real.
Okay. Well, I'm glad one of us is.
Yeah. Yet to be determined.
Yet to be determined.
So, do we want to move on? We're spending a lot of time. I guess this isn't exposes, so we gotta spend some time on it. But we also want to get the truth out there. So
we do. All right. So where are we at? We're on Sprite. Okay, I think we can.
Yeah. His number 2.
We can all agree that his number 2 is super solid.
Yeah. That's fair.
Both you and I would agree that Sprite is.
Both you and I would, yes.
And I don't know about you, but Canada Dry Ale, I mean, that's just like a solid second choice. Like, I would never buy it, but if it's at a party, I would definitely drink it.
My thing is it a soda? kind of like soda water, I guess. That's a big thing these days, right? Is like
On the
seltzers.
continuum of you have Dr. Pepper, and down here you have LaCroix,
LaCroix.
LaCroix. I would say that if you do a normal distribution and have a central line, that
Mhm.
Canada Dry ginger ale like is definitely on the soda side of that
Okay.
equation.
I would probably disagree a little bit, but I'll be honest. I don't think I've probably only drank it like once by itself. Most of the time, we always would mix it in like, you mix like cranberry juice or something else with it, and that was decent. As a kid, that always made those juices more fun to drink.
Hey, it's a super solid choice.
Yeah, yeah. I think G said that you could drink it with a meal. I don't know that I could get behind that. Like, can you imagine putting down a burger with Canada Dry? I don't think I
Nah,
could.
no,
Honestly, I feel like a
no.
burger is probably the thing I could deal the most with drinking that. Like, if I was eating spaghetti, you want to
No,
put
I
down some
think
spaghetti with
something.
Canada
I
Dry?
think I need something that gets when I'm like needing to get in touch with like my super basic side. I'm
Hmm.
gonna like go get Canada Dry ale, and I don't know, like sushi or something.
Is that a real food?
No, that's my point.
Oh, okay. Sorry for everyone I just offended. I don't like sushi, but it's okay if you do. And as Mrs. You and I have said, I'm not judging you. I'm just disapproving.
Peer pressure is a real thing.
Yeah, yeah. So, number 4 on G's list is, now I know it's real, I think. I've seen it. It's Fanta. Now, most folks will probably say that I'm the weird one here, and that's okay. I was homeschooled. I've grown up being weird. I don't think I've ever had Fanta. I think it is a real thing, but is it good? It obviously can't be that. No one has ever said, hey, you have a Fanta. It's always been that thing that's like, it's in the cooler, and you've seen one or two people drink it.
But it is always the last thing in the cooler,
Hmm.
and then everybody drinks it later.
Maybe.
Now, here is one of the things that like you and I have in common is that we were both homeschooled. But ironically, I find Fanta weird because Fanta was the thing that we always had at homeschooled events. So like we
Really?
drank a lot of it.
Oh, and we
But
both can attest to anything that is associated with homeschool. It's probably
It's
something for folks
definitely
to stay away. That's a joke. Homeschooling is awesome. I'm very grateful for my education.
I can attest that over 20% of the kids in my department are homeschooled.
Ah,
So
there you go.
take that, higher education.
What's
At least
G's
used
number?
to be.
What's G's number 5? What are we
It's
looking
like a rip-off of number 2.
at? Oh, yeah. It's what is it? He's got Sierra Mist. Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. Like, hey, can I have a Sprite? It's like, oh, sorry, we only have Sierra Mist. And you're like, all right.
So, like, it's really interesting that he put that at number 5 and not at, like, number 3. Because to me, that's, like, number 2 and number 5 are essentially the same drink.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I do think Sprite is better. I think I can notice the
course.
difference. But like I said, it's one of those things. You're like, hey, I'd really like a
But-
Sprite.
Like,
What's
because, like,
that?
let's be honest. Like, if there's Sprite and Sierra Mist right next to each other, I'm always going to choose the Sprite.
Yeah,
But
who
if it's
would
like,
reach for the Sierra
There's
Mist?
Sierra Mist where normally you would like to have Sprite. Who cares? You
Yeah.
move on with life. It's
Yeah,
essentially the same
It's
thing.
nothing to hold you up. Now, if there's
Exactly.
a Fanta sitting there, you're like, guess I'll just go hungry.
Or thirsty, as the case may be.
Right, that's how that works. Well, so do you want to spend a lot of time on our list, or do you just kind of want to
I
blaze
think
through it a little bit?
are a good 24 minutes. And by the way, if you have like lasted this long through here, you deserve like a standing ovation. And
I
you
mean, I'll
should
clap,
probably
but I
come
won't.
here.
I won't stand. This is as much as
Yeah,
I'm gonna get.
no.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good point.
I tell you what. I tell you what. Like, we need to hurry up and let's go through it pretty quick because if you've lasted this time long through our podcast, like, I'll let you pet my dog. You just have to come find me.
You can pet my
But
dog
she's pretty
too.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucy's being a butt right now and won't come out to say hi, but it's okay.
Mine is chewing on me.
Oh,
So.
well. Suddenly I'm more okay with what Lucy is doing. Yeah, that's a good point, though.
See?
Let's go ahead and...
Look at how mean she is.
Aww. Looking for things to chew. Did you just toss her?
She landed on her feet. She's like a cat.
Oh,
She's a collie. They always land on
that's
their feet.
fair. Well, yeah, so let's go through our...
Plus, there's
Our
a couch over there. Trust me, YouTube world, our 3 followers. Because we have 3 followers by now. Because you've
Oh,
all
did it
liked
drop down to
and
3?
subscribed.
I thought we were at like 10 million.
Oh, I was being optimistic. There's a couch over there that I tossed my dog onto.
I believe him. So, yeah, let me... how about... do you have yours pulled up? Or
I
can you just
do,
rattle
I
them off?
do, and actually, I think everybody probably already knows where we're at. So for number 1 for me, it's got to be Sprite. Like that's just a super solid choice. You know, like I'm thirsty. I've decided I'm gonna splurge. I'm gonna get a Coke. Sprite it is.
Now,
I said Coke.
yeah, you said
bet
Coke. What does that mean?
I'm in the South, man. It's a
Mm.
terrible world. Down here, they pervert you. They don't call things sodas and pops. They call them Coke. And if you stay here long enough, you will inadvertently call things Coke that are not Coke.
See, I grew up in the South. Oh, it's Texas. We're South.
That's not the South.
Yeah, no, that's fair, and I made
Texas
that
is
point
not the
before.
South.
But it's east part of
That's
Texas.
future podcast material.
Mm.
Future podcast.
That's
We will
fair,
discuss what is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
South.
Well, yeah, and we'll bring up pop, soda, and Coke. We'll talk about those.
Exactly.
All right, go
Dr.
ahead.
Pepper.
All right, sorry to interrupt. Yeah,
Dr. Pepper's solid number 2. You can't go wrong.
I disagree on number 2, but we'll come to that. Yeah.
I mean, we got a different order, but here we go. Now, here is where I throw in my puncher. Because if I am standing at a soda machine and I'm like, I do not know if I want Sprite or if I want Dr. Pepper, I just mix the 2 together. It's like the best of both worlds. And you know what? Not a lot of people have tried it, but trust me, if you haven't tried it, you should definitely try it. Because I think I've invented a new pop flavor of soda here.
When I
And
finally get out of
I
quarantine, first thing I'll do.
I have not ever suggested that to anyone and had them tell me they didn't like it.
Well, there you go. That's solid.
So
All right, what's your number 4?
number 4 is root beer. Just because, you know what? You gotta have some root beer.
Solid. Yeah.
And lastly, if that's like all the options and all the other options is like Fanta, and I guess if we ever see Squirt, I'm just gonna go with water.
Again,
because
don't
you
think
know what?
Squirt is a real thing.
Water's good for you, and frankly, there's plenty of it. So
Now,
worst comes to
disclaimer:
worst.
we realize water is not a soda.
But it can be carbonated.
Yeah, but if you're drinking carbonated water, is it really water then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Plus, like, water is the primary ingredient in all these other things. So it's basically soda without the soda.
So yeah, soda without the syrup. That's fair. That's a good point.
All right. You do your list. And
All right, well,
then we'll
yeah,
see how far wrong we are.
So, my number 1, as evidenced by the 8 cans that are on my desk, is Dr. Pepper. I discovered Dr. Pepper in high school, and I have not looked back since. There's
High
the
school?
ladies
That
that you can
late?
see on.
That
my
late?
my parents are from Tennessee.
Oh, homeschool. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? But Yeah, there's all those folks, those stories you hear on like Facebook and whatever, that these ladies live to be like 104 or whatever, and somebody's like, "What's your secret?" And like, drink 4 Dr. Peppers a day. I'm like, way ahead of you. That's not true. I typically drink like 1 or 2, but I'll probably have to pick it up the older I get, just to
A
stay.
Dr. Pepper a day keeps the doctor away.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
My number 2 is not on I's list, so we would disagree on that. Is Coke. I do think it's a solid option. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's classic. What can you say? Like, a lot of people do like Coke. Let's be real.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you go ahead. I'll address this point later.
Okay. Yeah. I'll run through the last 3 real fast. So number 3, Barks root beer. Root beer in general, but Barks specifically. Number 4 is Sprite. On my list, probably should be higher. I think Sprite is. I mean, let's be real. I could probably reverse this to Dr. Pepper is 1, Sprite is number 2, and Coke is number 4, and it'd be pretty real. And a little bit of an oddball, actually. Mountain Dew Code Red. I am white, and like young white men are supposed to like Mountain Dew, so I guess I'm just being stereotypical. I don't like normal Mountain Dew though, but Code Red is. I'm about it. But, all right, what are your thoughts?
Well, I have 2.
Okay.
And then I'm done.
It's more than me.
1, Coke. The only way they used to be able to get people to drink Coke was to put Coke in Coke.
Like they would take a bottle of Coke and another bottle of Coke and like. Pour
No, they put literally Coke in Coke. So people would drink Coke.
Eesh.
I know.
Now you don't hear
right?
that about Dr. Pepper, do you? Or Sprite.
You don't. Or Sprite.
You also don't hear about
or
Pepsi, to be fair. But
hey,
but also you hear that Pepsi is disgusting. So
I'm sure they have a skeleton in the closet somewhere.
It's probably that they're really bad.
And lastly, I have a problem with stereotypes. I think anybody can drink anything.
Thank you. That means a lot. It means a lot.
Oops.
Well, so what? Let's kind of reach some sort of definitive list. Maybe it doesn't have to be all 5, but like, what would you say are kind of going off of our lists and also trying to like think about what the rest of the world might think? So, like,
let's just say if you are watching this podcast because you are now confused because you have no idea what Sprite is and you don't like Fanta because it's terrible, in which case you are vindicated, and you are trying to decide what sodas you need to provide at a party, you need to go with the solid choices.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Dr. Pepper, people will never complain about having Dr.
Exactly.
Pepper there.
If anyone at your party complains about Dr. Pepper being there, they shouldn't be at your party. And I think that's a reasonable... yeah, like, you'd be like... they'd be like, hey, why you got all this Dr. Pepper here? And be like, why are you here? Just leave.
I mean, there are literally, like, almost 8 billion people in the world. Find new friends.
Yeah. There's got to be at least 7.5 billion people who like Dr. Pepper.
Exactly.
And I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think that's legit. Pretty sure you can look that up somewhere.
I mean, root beer. I mean, I don't think that it just goes with everything. So I think you need to be wise in where you put it. But
it's fair.
Solid choice.
I think Sprite. It's pretty high on your list. It's maybe a little too low on my list, to be real.
Didn't we already talk about Sprite? Oh,
well, we didn't say it in this
yes.
segment. And it's on B's and G's list. As much as it might pain me to say it, from a definitive list, Sprite might take the top option. Or at least most reliable option.
It's like the default. It's like if you don't know what you need, you can always get a Sprite.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't think, like, I'll be real, and I think this makes me not a true Texan, so it kind of hurts. But there have been a few times I've been like, I'm not really feeling a Dr. Pepper right now. It's happened twice, I think, in
It's
however many years.
9 o'clock at night, like pretty close when we're recording this podcast, and you want to have a Sprite, but you want to sleep that night because you got an important day tomorrow.
Oh, I would
I don't
I
know.
would still drink Dr. Pepper. Maybe that's why I have sleep problems. But yeah, no, I mean it's true. That's another solid point. Caffeine free. It's better to give your
Caffeine-free.
kids when they're bouncing off the walls. I don't have kids, but I was a kid once. We're podcasters. How does it feel
Podcasters.
to be despicable?
It feels pretty despicable.
Yeah, it does.